Apple Vision Pro has taken the market by storm. It is everywhere. It is in your home. It is on your bus, and it is behind the wheel of a Cybertruck. Don't do that. Don't do that. But moreover, what you can also do is not fall for pranks and hoaxes. But we'll discuss that. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. Joining me is my good friend Herbert. As he does from time to time, he knows a thing or two about a thing or three. It's pretty impressive, and I appreciate it. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm glad that there's actually these videos coming out about Apple's products instead of just Tesla, and doing all these fun about that too. So, welcome
Except
to the
that,
club.
welcome to the club. Except the headlines we've seen, and we've seen a lot of them,
Yeah,
all mention Tesla,
Tesla.
but they
Yes,
don't mention Apple.
yeah, that's right.
Where's Apple's culpability in this obvious prank? Now,
Yeah,
the way it's presented in the video is that some guy is wearing Apple Vision goggles and on self-driving, and he's not paying attention to the road. What's the first red flag that this is obviously nonsense?
Cybertruck does not have self-driving in it.
It does not have self-driving yet. So right there, the whole thing falls apart. It doesn't pass the most basic sniff test. It doesn't make sense. The first clue to me before I even cued into that was the old question, why were they filming? You just happened to catch this very rare situation, and now all of a sudden, why were they filming? You could hand wave that and say, well, it's a Cybertruck. People film those constantly. That's fair, but it doesn't have self-driving. And then we're seeing headlines. Regulators are warning about Tesla. They're raising red flags about Tesla, alarms about Tesla. What about, I don't know if you know this, there are other cars on the road. Did you know that? Why aren't you
Yeah,
warning drivers, just drivers?
yeah.
Why why isn't so I know the answer, but why is Tesla in all these headlines?
Well, you know the answer because you've been doing a very good job of following all the news media that's been out there on Tesla, and then you've been evaluating the bias, right? I mean, I think we've had several journalists come out and say it. I mean, it's a fact, right? You put the word Tesla in there, and the more negative the story is, they get clicks. They get clicks and they get interest. So that's why it's funny that this is about they're making fun of the people wearing the goggles. And this is not the only one. There's many of these videos coming out now. There's one guy who's like in the middle of a basketball game and he's right there on the floor and he's got his goggles on, right? There's another one where like, he's walking down the street and he's like doing all this. They're making fun of them because it's a lot of fun. Right now you've got the ones where they're taking a shower and he's got the goggles on. But yeah, they put the word Tesla in there instead of Apple, and because it's the one that will get the clicks, and that's just a fact of life right now.
And like you said, the more negative, the stronger the response they get. I do still see a lot of people saying, well, this is all politics, this is all editorial oversight demanding all these articles, and it's not. It is there was a time when you would have a journalism staff and editors, and the editors would tell them, here's the stories we need to write, here's how I want them written, and then they would revise them. But that takes days. And the news cycle does not have days. And if it was a hot story, you have until the end of the day. No one has that anymore. You got 20 minutes, get it done.
Mhm.
And then the next step was they would say, okay, you're all freelancers, and here's what I need you to do, and you're going to get paid this low wage per word or whatever.
Mhm.
And now it's not
Mhm.
even that. It's here's your
For
login
clicks.
and
Mhm.
push what you can as quick as you can. No one's going to approve or deny it. It just goes through. And if you will be paid based on your clicks. So the
Yeah.
more sensational, the more trashy and garbagey it is, the more red meat it is, the more successful you are as a writer. And the only time you'll see boring ones is when it's something where the author has something, a personal stake that they wish to advance. Maybe they'll write a very boring story about their buddy's tree farm. I don't know, something like that. Because the industry is dying, and we don't need to look for a
Yeah.
conspiracy when when the simple answer is it's all about the clicks and the money. So, any words of caution for those who might wish to operate heavy machinery well, deeply distracted. Is that a good thing? I think a
Yeah,
don't
I was
is
gonna say
is
though, don't do that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's actually a good thing. So for this particular one, it's a good thing for Tesla, right? You're seeing the Cybertruck driving. You got this futuristic thing. People pretty well figured out that it's a joke, but there are definitely lots of other things that are out there that is completely, misleading. Tesla's cars go on fire. They're not being able to have the range. Those kind of things are very, very powerfully impacting sales, impacting Tesla. So those ones do, but this kind of stuff, it's actually good. You're watching a Cybertruck driving in, and so many people have not yet seen a Cybertruck, and they're going, "What's that?" Uh, you know,
it's true. There was a great review I saw the other day where these, I don't remember which channel it was, but it's people I've seen before, and they had a chance to take a Cybertruck from the Bay
hmm
Area up into Yosemite or wherever it was and back. And everywhere they went, they just drew a crowd. People
hmm
can't get enough of it. And you've seen the footage out of China of
yeah,
them putting them
yeah,
on display. And you've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed, but China numbers this week are very strong. So for all the people saying, well, in Europe, Model 3 sales are down. Okay, guys, it's the beginning of the quarter, and the sales are commensurately high in China. It's not the end of the world. One data point does not represent a trend. Two represents a line. Three, now we're getting into trend territory. Give it some breathing room before telling us just how
yeah,
far the sky's
yeah.
falling.
I just did a show on why are they showing the Cybertruck in China, and why did they now bring the Cybertruck to Japan? And the like you said, the crowds were just flocking. There was free, it was reported on the news. And what happens is people, it's not available for sale, and it won't be available for sale for a long time. In fact, it might not even be ever be available for sale in China, because China is very restrictive on on trucks per se. And so I think they're actually renaming it. This is true. They're not calling it the Cybertruck in China. They're calling it like a family caravan or something like that. Because if they change the word truck, maybe they can position this as not a truck and then get it through. Anyways, the point being that this actually will increase sales of Tesla. It brings the brand of Tesla's future, a great technology company. And that's why they're doing this. They're going around. It's their form of marketing and advertising.
Having a halo product like that is incredibly valuable. Brands have any brand would kill to have something this insanely
Yeah.
appealing to move feet into your location, and nothing in history has done
Yeah.
this to this extent. And I posted on X yesterday or the day before saying, with a picture from one of Joe Techmeyer's flyovers where there was 30, 40 Cybertrucks in the shot, and saying, remember, it wasn't that long ago that the clowns were saying these will never be produced, never. And yet here they are. And I got to tell you, they still don't look real. It's amazing. I see him and I just think this is, and I've seen him in person. It doesn't look real. It's a very uniquely exciting product, and one that everybody is pretty interested in. And like you're saying, even if these don't come to Japan, even if they don't come to China, it's a very exciting product, and it's hard to compete with that. So that's it, you guys. Let's think a little more critically. Let's push back on fake videos. Let's push back and say they're just having some fun. It's like when Trev's Great Life made a TikTok, I think, where he hopped in his Tesla and said, "Hey Tesla, I'm drunk. Take me home." And then his wife used Summon to drag him around their little gated community so that they could make a video. People were outraged. How dare you endanger lives like that? Guys, we were going 4 miles an hour in a closed environment. It's just for good fun. It's okay to enjoy things that aren't real. That's what cinema exists for. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So, guys, in the comments, what did we miss? What did we misunderstand? How deadly and dangerous is the Apple Vision Pro system? And how deadly and dangerous is that big stainless steel beast out of Austin? We got to know, because I have no earthly idea. I do not have an Apple Vision product, but I'll be very curious to try it out when the time is right. So, everybody else in the comments, like, subscribe, do the usual things. Head on over to Herbert's channel, get a little bit brighter, as I do. And everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, from the interior of a Cybertruck, which is driving itself while you and I are watching, I assume, this channel.